9 a.m. Call the Harrison County Commission meeting for April 10th, 2024 to order. If you will rise and join us in the anglican prayer, please.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this opportunity to meet together. So many people in this room do so many things for so many people. Follow your lead, Lord, not to be served, but to serve others. Others that we don't even know, and others that we may never get close enough to know. I thank you for all the people in this room that do what they do. I pray that they have a wonderful day. I pray that they all return safely home to their homes and their families. We ask all these things in your name, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, number one, public comment. Is there anybody who signed up to speak?
There is not.
Is there anyone on Zoom that wishes to speak publicly? Anyone?
Yeah, I'm on Zoom. Gerald Sisla, the petitioner.
Okay, you're for one of the estate hearings, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're not there yet. Is there anyone else on Zoom that wishes to speak publicly? Hearing none, we will move on to the consent agenda. What's the pleasure?
Motion approved, please.
Motion to approve consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number three, payroll change notices, A and B. What's the pleasure?
Motion approved.
Motion to approve 3A and B. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None, motion carried. Number four, minutes and or amended minutes of previous meetings, A through C. Motion to approve 4A through C. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number five, requisitions, purchase orders, invoices, A through C. What's the pleasure?
Motion approved, A through C, please.
Motion to approve number five, A through C. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number six, exoneration, corrective tickets, joint property applications, and it appears we don't have exoneration.
Motion approved, A, exoneration, please.
Motion to approve 6A exonerations. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number seven, consideration of approval of a project fund requisition for the payments and costs associated with the project to be financed from proceeds of a Series 2019 bonds issued for the Charles Point Economic Opportunity Development District Series 2021 A and B Development District Number 3 White Oak Project Number 2 and Series 2008A Charles Point Project 2 Number 2 North Land Bay Improvements A through C. What's the pleasure?
Motion approved, A through C, please.
Motion to approve number 7A through C. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None, motion carried. Number 8, review, discuss, consider changing how county commission pays health insurance rates for smokers and non-smokers.
So it's come to our attention that the commission, as you know, pays the individual rate for employees with insurance. But the rate has a surcharge on it if you are a smoker. So it's actually $25 more for smokers. And I guess they wanted to have a discussion of whether that was considered a benefit to smoking employees that non-smoking employees are not receiving.
That's something we need to clean up.
Staff recommendation.
I believe the staff recommendation is that the commission would only pay the base rate and the employee would be responsible for the surcharge, the $25 a month.
Should approve staff recommendation.
Motion's been made to approve staff's recommendation. Is there any discussion? You have any input?
So we're gonna have to amend the county handbook. I would also suggest you all give the employees ample notice before you make the change. So perhaps an effective date 90 days out from the amendments of the county handbook. Just need to clarify the
And I'll
benefits.
make a motion to get that. After his administration, still get, and as the county attorney, still get. August 1st.
So basically, the motion is to take away the.
I'm just curious, is this for future employees, or are you doing this for the people that you've been doing it for the last 20 years?
It would make sense. It's for all. That's why we're gonna have to give them ample notice before the change becomes effective.
The motion is to amend the personnel manual to take away to not pay the surcharge for the smokers that are covered by insurance. And it will take effect within 90 days, August 1st.
I'm not through discussing, Susan, on this. I think that we'll on a quick notice for whoever's smoking, we're not giving them the chance or offering any way to help them quit. I think that we're telling them that we're going to start this in August. I think they should be, we at least should give them 6 months to a year. We've given them for the last God knows how many years, and now all of a sudden we're saying something today with much notice.
Want to amend my motion, I think it's 6 months, I'm okay with it. The 6 months is how long it will take if you quit smoking to have it come off of your payroll. So if you want to go 6 months, I'm okay with that.
I think that's the minimum for me.
Okay, so let's have August, September, October. Let's go ahead and get November 1st.
You want to amend your motion?
Yeah, go November 1st.
90 days.
I give 6 months to do what they want to do and not what we want to do.
It's fine with me.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, 905, the state hearing. Petition to remove executor Mary Lou Grimes. Is there anyone here? No. Yourself? Well, my daughter. Are you going to testify to this? Yes. Okay, would you stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You can go ahead and speak from there, if that helps you out.
Okay, ma'am. My nephew is trying to have me removed as executor. Yes, I had not got the papers. I got them turned in yesterday. I'm not well, ma'am. I've had serious health problems, other things were going on. Papers I couldn't find, things I didn't understand. But I had someone help me, so I got all of that turned in. And the only reason that my nephew is doing this is because I had to have him evicted. He moved in to my daughter's home, because she was not there, had not been. He moved, can I show you these?
You can speak right here. That way,
Okay.
that way they can hear you better.
Anyway, this is what,
Here,
First,
I'll just take them up.
okay.
That's okay.
He's a felon. That's the homemade gun he was making. All the other stuff that destroyed. My granddaughter had over 200 Beanie Babies. He was living in my home. He would not get out. I quit paying the utilities. He stayed living there anyway. He had propane tanks inside, sitting in front of my fireplace. He was sawing up furniture and wood in my house, as you can see all those pictures. And I haven't been holding back because I don't want to pay it. There isn't any money there. My aunt, who's supposed to get $5,000 more than anybody, you don't see her here. She knows my mom didn't even have enough to bury her, sir. I'm still paying on her funeral. There's no money. I'm trying to keep her house. Her house payment is $1,500 a month because that's where I've lived the last 8 years. I gave my home away because I took care of my mother for 8 years while she had Alzheimer's and dementia. And Jerry, he doesn't even know my mom. He's been in prison for the last 10 years. He begged, said when he got out of jail, he begged me to let him come out there and live with me at mom's. And he totally trashed it. He left one day and I went downstairs. There were needles, syringes, razor blades, drugs. So I told him he couldn't come back. And then that's when I'm sorry, sir. Then that's when all this stuff got started. When I told him he couldn't come back, he just broke into my daughter's house and you can see what he did. And my granddaughter's father had just died, and a lot of that stuff was what he had just got her. She's only 11.
I want to put you through a lot of distress here, if you have, you're free to keep on going.
And then I tried to begin with to get him evicted, but they told me that would take 30 days. And I had told the cop everything that he was doing. So the policeman, it was the Harrison County Sheriff's, told me, because he has in there that I had the audacity to try to get a mental hygiene. The police told me to do that. They said he needed out of there, that I could wait for a 30-day eviction. But if I went and got a mental hygiene warrant on him for everything that he was doing, that they could get him out of there. So I did what that cop told me. And then when I went to the jail, they just told me he had squatter's rights. And there wasn't nothing that I could do about anything. But then he kept destroying stuff anyway, so I went ahead and got the eviction notice. He didn't even show up for it. He didn't even show up for it. But
Yeah, and you beautiful guy, you come to the start.
That she did. Anything else before that?
I took care of my mother for 8 years. 8 years, no help. Until the last 2 weeks of hospice. And the couple of times that Jerry did come out before she died, I told him he needed to go back there and talk to his mamaw, and he didn't even want to go back and talk to her. Never came and seen her, never anything, but now he's crying about that.
But your intention is to finish out the estate.
Yes, ma'am.
You will do that.
Yes.
You're telling the commission today that you are going to settle this estate at the proper time.
Yes, I don't know. I mean, as far as for paying I'll have to make payments. Like I said, ma'am, she doesn't have it. Her sister can even tell you. She didn't have no money. She had $1,800 when she died. That's how much cash she had. Like I said, it didn't even bury her. I'm still paying on the funeral. And I'm sorry. I have PTSD too, ma'am, sometimes. I have a hard time with things, but I thought I gave the lady everything yesterday that I needed
For now,
to.
There'll be another process that you'll have to do in the future, okay? But you need to keep in contact with the clerk's office. Okay,
Okay, when do I?
can you help? Okay, okay. Just reach out to them and they'll tell you, they told you yesterday what you need to do, what the process will be. There has to be advertisement and other things that have to take place before you can settle with the state.
I don't understand what you mean, man. Advertisement.
You need to speak to the county clerk's office to make sure you get the proper information so you can finish the estate at the time it needs to be settled.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was. I thought that's what the lady told me yesterday.
So I'm telling you, there's a process you have to go through, unless you did a small estate. I don't know.
I don't know. I just she told me yesterday I was,
And find out what you need to do. It's your next step.
okay, the county clerk.
Yes.
So what do we do? I mean, is that another process?
Give him a chance to speak. I've got to get you-
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
All right,
ma'am.
that's okay.
Thank you.
Gerald, are you still on Zoom?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Okay, would you like to speak?
Absolutely. I don't really feel that it's fair for her to make this into a character thing for me. I'm not the only one involved here. There's also other family members that are involved, and I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a lot of things that she's saying that's kind of like I have proof otherwise, but that's not what we're doing right now. We're doing the estate. My grandmother, before she passed away, she was getting really sick, and she was scared that, oh, they're going to take her and put her in a hospice. What happens when they take you and put you in a hospice? They drain out your accounts. They take control of your money. She never had power of attorney. She shouldn't have been messing with funds that she was messing with, and she got caught up in it. Right now, she's deflecting on me, trying to take it out on me. And honestly, she signed the affidavit that said that was my address. I've been associated with that address for many years. I haven't destroyed the place. It just got how you say it, denied for CPS. Her granddaughter was out there. No, she can't live here. The same place has had multiple things to do with the county where it's been too much trash in the yard. The grass is too tall. The sewage was messed up. There was a bunch of different things that factor into play that the house has not been in good condition this whole time. I was actually asked to go out and watch over her things, her daughter's things while she was in rehab. She didn't make it to rehab. She actually went to jail because she didn't do what she was supposed to do on that part. She hasn't been keeping anybody informed on anything. Like, she hasn't paid the funeral home, and there's a lien on the house that she hasn't informed anybody about. I had to find out through my brother and his wife. They did a little research on it and was like, oh, did you know there's a lien on the house? We're not trying to lose that house. That house has been in the family for a long generations. And she's right. I didn't know my grandmother like I should. And the man that built the house is actually my grandfather, and I was named after him. Never even got to know the man. He died 4 years before I was born. I was out there actually like searching.
Over a house rather than the problem why we're here today. We're here.
Yeah.
You have asked to have her removed as the administrator.
Yeah.
Okay, she has
Well,
the duty at this point. She went yesterday and filed the necessary paperwork to proceed with what she has to do.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't understand.
Houses.
Go ahead.
And somebody else can fight that.
Yeah, I didn't know what her plans were with the house, honestly, because when I was out and I was trying to make, plans to advance the house, she was saying, hey, I don't plan on keeping it at all. But as far as everything goes, she told me, I'm not paying you. Your grandmother owes you. I don't. And on the paper, it says, I swear to uphold this duty. So that says, hey, this is now my debt that I am signing an oath to say, hey, I'm taking care of this. and she's telling me, hey, no, I'm not, you know? Um, that's where I'm at with it. I don't really know what to do in that aspect, but as far as everything goes, there was money. They cashed out $16,000. They cashed out $16,000, and they don't have any receipts or transactions for anything that go into play of going towards the estate. I mean,
Get in touch with law enforcement or speak to an attorney to get some legal advice concerning that. But we're here today, you've asked us to remove her, and that's what we're here to decide.
John, what did she call
okay,
yesterday? She just qualified yesterday, and so there really wasn't anybody to remove till yesterday.
She qualified a while ago.
She qualified a while ago.
There were some lingering paperwork issues that hadn't been done, with my knowledge, they were leaving yesterday, part of the voting process. So as far as I'm aware of at this point, we're up to speed and everything is okay. From our office's standpoint.
Kind of an odd situation. She's just getting all the paperwork done.
She's already qualified. It says.
Already qualified.
She did not file a praise in this place. So the next step is to sell. I mean, I'm just expecting. And this is.
Yeah, I mean. We'll make a motion to table this removal for 60 days and give the parties time to resolve this issue. If not, we will bring it back up in 60 days and make determination on who'll be the executor.
Motion's been made to table the petition to remove Mary Lou Grimes from the estate for 60 days to complete the proper paperwork that needs to be done, correct?
Yes.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
So just make a point to notice them that in 60 days, I want to see them back in here and see that everything's where they're at.
You understand? Okay. Thank you. Okay, we got 9, 10, the state hearing petition to appoint an administrator, Leona Claire.
I'm Robert Claire.
I'm Amber Beach, I sent in the letter.
Who is gonna testify?
I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be doing here, to be honest with you.
Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize. Who was appointed? Who got appointed?
That was the problem, is that my sister was the executor, appointed as the executor, but she's died. So now there's no executor to the will. We've been trying, we thought we were going to get my Aunt Charlotte to be the executor. We thought that Andrew had agreed that Andrew or Charlotte would be fine as an executor. I can stand up, go ahead. Anyway,
Okay, at this point, will you raise your right hand, both of you? We swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. And you need to
Amen.
identify yourself when you speak. Please,
okay.
identify yourself.
My name is Robert Claire. Okay, like I said, I don't even know exactly why I'm here, except that I got these papers that said I needed to come here. We have a will, the problem was the executor on the will has passed away. So we had agreed, I thought, that my aunt would make a fine executor, but then Amber decided that she wouldn't make a fine executor, and hence we're here today. That's as much as I know. Maybe Amber knows more.
This whole thing has just been an ongoing process and nothing has been done with anything yet. So there's has been a ton of miscommunication or just not communicating at all. And I was her caregiver for many years and I know how to do, I've been taking care of everything for her. So I've done as much as I can do thus far to get everything for the estate up and running, but there's only so much that I can do without the proper authorization with the representative of a state, administrator of a state. So I sent in the letter requesting to be the administrator of a state because he and I are both the beneficiaries on the will. Well, my mother was, so now I am, and per stirpes, if that's the correct way to say that, through the will. So now we are just trying to figure out the next steps and nothing was being done. And I was told I needed to write a letter to get a process started.
When has the will been probated? Who had the original will?
I turned it in.
Okay, it's been lodged. You lodged the
Yes,
will.
I filed the will.
I believe somebody could qualify.
Yeah, I think I was just handed, is this a copy?
That is the copy that we got sent in the mail to us of the will, right?
And there is a successor executrix, Darla Yvonne.
That's right, my sister.
My
She's
mother.
No longer here.
She passed away as well.
Right.
So at this point, there is no name.
Right.
Right.
Successor.
Darla is my mother.
So at this point, the heirs could sign waivers and agree to appoint someone, or if they can't agree to that process, it would fall on your shoulders to appoint someone as the executor or executrix of the estate, as the will has been bought.
That's fine. I mean, like I said, I thought that Charlotte would have been a great executor, but she is, evidently disagrees with that. I don't know who she wants the executor to be. I don't want it to be her because of many reasons. She's living in the house right now, which she's not even supposed to be living in. There was nothing for her to take care of there. She's living there because it's free. Okay, she thinks it's free, although it's not. Taxes need to be paid, everything needs to be paid. All those things are not been paid up to this point in time. None of the bills have been paid. I've not been able to pay for anything. I've not gotten a penny out of the state at all. Nothing. I've got nothing from the estate. And I've got bills that need to be paid. Leona left many bills that are still pending that need to be paid. Until we can sell the house, nothing is going to get paid. That's pretty much where the house stands. If Amber can buy me out of the house, then she can have the house. But it's my understanding in talking to the county clerk that Amber is only entitled to half of the house, not the whole house. I'm entitled to half of the house. My sister, and she would get the other half, because the house would have gone to my sister, who's no longer here. So the clerk said that she was to be entitled to half of what Darla would have been entitled to, which means, I don't know why she's in the house. I don't know why she knows we have to sell the house to pay the bills, but she has decided that, no, Bobby, you can take care of all that and I'll just keep the house. And that's just not the way it's gonna
So
work.
basically, we can't agree on who to appoint.
I suppose. If we can just agree on an executor, it would be a big step in the right. And if we can't agree to that, then you're welcome to appoint one is fine with me.
To update what he just said, half of the taxes were paid already on the house and the other half
Not to interfere.
will be
We
paid.
don't want to get caught.
Yeah.
He said,
Right.
She said, and this happened, and this could happen. The reason we're here is you want to move forward,
Right,
but you can't agree on who needs to serve as the executor or administrator. So I guess you're asking the commission to do something about that.
Yes, and I will just say I am more than qualified to do it because that's what I've
No,
been
you're
doing
not
for
qualified
many
to do
years.
Let's just-
Let's not
That's why I'm trying to put this.
Yeah,
together.
all right.
So, my opinion is the daughter was named as the original, executrix. I think the law would require that the son, if you look at the racial incentive, given an opportunity to serve as the executor, that would be the most logical approach in terms of how to handle this.
Thank you, I agree.
Guess my question to you, Trey, is we don't have someone right now. Is that the way I understand it?
Right.
Correct.
So she's asked to bid, we would deny her, and then it would be up to him whether to go up and file to be the executor. I think she did,
She
Yeah.
did request
to be appointed as the administrator.
to be appointed. That's
So we
correct.
would
It's
deny
exactly-
that, and he would have to go up, because we can't tell him to go up, or we can't tell him because he hasn't asked the commission, correct?
He hasn't made that request formally. I believe that we could treat his appearance today as oral motion to be appointed by you all as executor of the state.
Thank you.
Sir. I'm
Yes, ma'am.
sorry. We live in Ohio, so when we get whatever you guys send us, we have to travel here, has cancer, so if we can do it, you know, if you're gonna send more papers, so we have to do something else. I have to do it for him, so I will get some time, 2 hours from Ohio here, take care of it.
So today, if you all would make a decision, we typically do an order, which would appoint someone as executor or executrix. And that order would then go from here down to the clerk's office, at which point the process would start.
Okay,
So that would get the ball.
That's great. Thank you very
If that's,
much.
if that's what the commission-
And her sister, Charlotte told me that she could do that second.
No, let them appoint whoever they want to appoint. That's fine with me.
So am I under the understanding there's another sibling?
No, there was only two of us. My sister is no longer here.
Okay,
What's that?
I thought she mentioned somebody else.
yeah,
She's Darla's daughter. Darla was Bob
I'll let you
Robert sister. She passed away. And Amber is Darla's daughter.
They said in the county clerk's office that whoever was the beneficiary of the will were able to apply to be administrator of estates. And by the language of the will with the first Turkeys, I received my mother's half of stuff, and considering that what I've been doing was taking care of everything.
Okay. Ready for some.
Well, who was it?
Wasn't you?
Who has been?
Let come on, come on.
You've been around for 10
Please.
years.
Oh, I haven't.
Please. Do I need to call somebody to come?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion at this time, the county commission is not gonna recognize Amber Beach to be appointed administrator. Who just said we were talking about on this one?
Leona May.
Leona May. Claire. So I'd like to vote on that.
Okay, so you're not going to appoint
Okay.
her?
No.
Okay, that's the motion. Okay. The motion has been made not to appoint Amber. Or, let me say,
Amber Beach.
Amber Beach, the executrix of the estate of Leona May Claire.
Correct.
Okay, any discussion?
May I ask
Hearing
why?
none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed?
I have a question.
Just hang on a second.
Oh, I'm
Hang on a
sorry.
second,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. What's your name?
Robert Lee.
My name is Robert.
Make a motion that Robert E. Claire Lee be made executor
Thank you.
of the estate for Leona May Claire.
Dave, do you want to put the house of praise and so.
Can we do that, Trey?
Not recommend doing that.
I think it could.
Okay, the motion's been made to appoint Robert Lee Claire. Is it junior?
Yes.
Okay. Matt Junior.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As the executor under the will of Leona May Claire. Is there any discussion?
Let me,
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, 9:15. State hearing petition to remove Administrator Carol Sue Kevney. Right, Governor, is that right, Mr. Barney?
I'm here, I'm not past the new sheriff commissioner for that. You won't have any trouble hearing me. And I know there are some people that have come in for this, but I would like to cast the backstory here. Then you can hear what they have to say, because there's been what I consider to be a rather significant occurrence within the last couple of weeks that may impact what the motion sought to achieve. Now, when Ms. Keaveney died, there were 10 heirs that were listed when the estate proceedings started. Most of them seem to be able to agree on what needs to be done. There's one that chronically objects to everything, and she's the one that filed a paper with me. That's Ms. Maddox. She filed a paper with me seeking a removal. It wasn't technically compliant with a petition to remove a personal representative, but at that point, I believed it was probably in the best interest of the estate. And so I filed, attached that, and joined in that motion, okay? Now, there are 7 direct heirs, and then there's grandkids and that sort of thing, all of whom, by virtue of succession of deaths, are entitled to take. Within the past 10 days, one of the adult heirs has died, leaving minor children. The problem that creates is the only asset of any significance in this estate is the property, the house and roughly 20 acres or so that it sits on. It's out off of, it's on Coburn's Fork, which is almost Doddridge County. As you go out, turn in at Salem, or turn in at Lake Floyd, like you're going up there, cut up over the hill, and it's on a T-bone end of road kind of situation down there. The house is in disarray. I live in that general area. I pass by it from time to time when the road's passable. That hadn't been the case lately. But the reality is it's in disarray. Now, Mr. Zarowski, who qualified as the personal representative to handle the estate, lives in the house. He pays no rent. That's been a bone of contention. According to what I have been advised, he has denied the other heirs access to the house to look at personal property and see if there's anything of value there or anything of emotional value. And I can't really speak to the veracity of all that, but what I will tell you is I've been doing this almost 40 years, and this is one of the most bitter scenarios that I've run into. The house and the grounds out there have, in my mind, limited value. And I kept getting calls or texts or communication to June, who is my paralegal on this stuff now. I think you all know her. She worked here for a number of years. Basically saying we got an offer to buy the property, and I said, get me something in writing because you're not moving this forward. Show me a written contract. Well, we finally saw a written contract. One was sent to me within the past few days. It has contingencies in it that'll take some time to sort out. And with the minor children now being partial owners of the tract of property, it's going to take a lawsuit probably to get permission to sell the infant's land. Mr. Zarowski has had quite a variety of communications with me, everything from pleading that he not be put out of the house to threatening to put my lights out. And we got by that. We had a rather frank discussion. We got by that. I think we're okay in that regard now. But the heirs simply can't agree. And what drives this, I think, is intra-sibling jealousies and rivalries and that sort of thing, but it's spilled over. There's an old adage about there are no greater battles than those for money not earned. And that seems to be a driving force here as well. But the problem is, the more this goes on, the more the estate dissipates. Because there's ongoing mortgage costs, insurance costs, utilities, and whatever other garden variety debts go with owning and maintaining a property. And there's no money to pay it. One of the heirs, Amanda Maddox, has paid some of this, as I understand it. I learned just recently that another heir, and I think she may be here, Ms. Dove. Okay, she's here. I understand has put about $9,000 into keeping this going. I keep asking for documentation. I believe those would be fair reimbursements if it was done to keep the property from being foreclosed on. And there's been 2 or 3 foreclosure notices that have been nipped at the 11th hour by somebody coming up with some money. There have been things that have happened. I know Ms. Maddox is here and wants to make a pitch that she be the personal representative. And it's so, there's such easy ways to work this out. Mr. Zarowski's living in the house. He's paying no rent. Come up with some reasonable rent and take it off of his share when the time comes. That cures that problem. And if everybody, now I understand this written contract that I just saw, I think it's for $139,000, but don't hold me to that. And that's pretty good money for property that's pretty much undeveloped in that area. The only significance it has is it borders Jimbo Fisher's farm out there. He bought a big cattle ranch next door. But if they could come to some accord on that, the hang up, I'm told that that sales price was acceptable, except there's a hang up over who pays closing costs. And those who are lawyers or have been around this in the record room, there's a customary and historic procedure for how those are allocated. And when you figure the cost of keeping this thing going could be in the neighborhood of $1,000 a month with taxes, insurance, bank payments, and so forth, they're not doing anything but depleting the estate. So even if the decision would be made that at some point the executor should be, administrator, there is no will, should be removed, there's still a number of things that need to be done. Mr. Zarowski apparently at one time qualified and posted a bond that has lapsed. There is no bond in place right now. And to me, that's rather a fatal defect, but it's curable. I did get a communication that they get the bond reinstated, and Okay, fine. Why didn't you do it? Let's do it. But, I know that when you take a dramatic step like removal, it tends to complicate rather than speed things up. And again, that's based on past experience. So what I'm saying is, I did say remove the executor. But if some of these simple steps could be taken, that wouldn't be necessary. And we could move forward, and as Commissioner Hinkle observed in one of the earlier ones, if they bump this out 60 or 90 days, that may or may not be enough time. It'll certainly be enough time to know whether or not they can get that property sold. The lack of the insurance an order permitting the sale of the minor's interest is going to be an impediment, but there's a way to handle that. They can escrow a portion of the sales price. So with that said, I'm sure there are some who want to give you their 2, 3, and 4 cents worth, but I would like the opportunity to respond because I believe there may be some things proffered that are not factual. So that's where I am as a fiduciary commissioner. And I might add, in 40 years of doing this, this is the first time I've had to come before the commission to,
I'm not touching that.
huh?
I'm not touching
Well, let's face it, Commissioner Thomas, I'm getting old, you know? So anyhow, that's my 2 cents worth, and I'll certainly yield the floor to anybody that wants to speak.
that. Thank you, Mr. Blunt.
Yep.
Okay, is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Hi, I'm Cindy Dove. I'm
Can you come up to the microphone, please? So
I'm Cindy Dove. I'm the oldest heir of my mother's estate. And I'm here to support John remaining as the administrator. Many of the things that they've accused him of not doing and the bond is an issue. We will take care of that. But I feel like John has worked really hard to maintain the property. The property is in very bad disarray, has the original roof, it needs some work. The house has been listed for sale. We have had offers on the property. I didn't realize until recently when Mr. Varner said that we need to get it in writing, that we needed to get it in writing. My thought was get everybody to agree, then I'll get a contract, not waste people's time. Apparently that was not the right process. I also agree that this is a matter of jealousy and sibling rivalry and all of that. My mother wanted the property divided. John is trying to carry out her wishes. He does live in the property. However, he cuts the grass, he fixes the water on a regular basis. There's many, many, many issues keeping the house and, so that we can actually show it. Sorry. I have done everything in my power financially to try to keep the house from going into foreclosure. I paid payments, I've paid the insurance. I have documentation for everything that I'm staying here. I paid the insurance, I've paid the utility bills. I've done many things to try to keep it from going into foreclosure. They want Ed to pay the mortgage. However, it's, 7 people or however, 7 divisions own this property. So all of us should be contributing, however, financially, that's not been done. Every obstacle, Ed has just faced obstacle after obstacle. There has been no cooperation from the siblings and it's been super frustrating. So I've also live in Connecticut. So traveling here is an expense, but I felt like I needed to say, he's doing the best he can. He's doing everything he can. Is he administratively strong? No, he's not, but he is trying. He's doing everything he can. I feel like he should not be removed. I also have written statements from two of my other siblings that don't want him removed either. Do you have any questions from me?
Anyone else? Please identify yourself.
I'm Amanda Maddox.
Well, wait till you get over there, please. So everybody can hear you. It's on the record.
I'm Amanda Maddox. The reason I asked for his removal, it's not because of jealousy or any reason like that. My grandma died in October of 2022. She legally adopted me, which makes me her legal child. Nothing has been done. There is no bond. He's not going to be able to get a bond. You can call the Mr. Webster Company. He had threatened one of his employees, so they will not redo a bond for Mr. Zarowski. He doesn't have a bank account. We're expected, I have papers, if you'd like to see, of what we were expected to pay for our estate, for him to live in the house for free. It's a total of, if you'd like to see it, this is from January 15th of 2023, asking us to pay for the property for him to live there. I actually still have belongings. I lived in the home when my grandmother passed away. I was taking care of her. I've still not been allowed to get my own personal belongings out of the house. Mr. Zarowski doesn't have a bank account. If he's to sell stuff, like I believe he sold the cars that were out there, there's no bank account to put the money in for the estate. There's no way to monitor anything at all. The house is currently $7,581.39 behind. It was actually scheduled to be sold at your guys' courthouse relatively soon. Since we had a court hearing and there's been some other things going on, they have paused, I believe, the selling of the home at the courthouse. I have offered myself to go out there and to pay the mortgage. But I think if I pay the mortgage, I should be allowed to live in the home, is one of the problems. I don't think it's fair for heirs to be asked to pay for a house for Mr. Zarowski to live in for free. I pay my rent at my home. That's what everybody is supposed to do, is obtain their own things. Would you like to see what is owed? The foreclosure letter or what we were asked to pay? I also want to note that I asked for Mr. Zarowski's removal I want to say either late May or June. We were sent to a fiduciary commissioner, Mr. Robert Greer first, who actually signed and said that Mr. Zarowski should be removed, but then Mr. Greer had to pass it off for a conflict of interest to Mr. Varner. So I just don't understand how we're expected to pay for somebody else to live somewhere for free. Mr. Zarowski, unfortunately, he doesn't have a job. He has no way to pay for anything out there. I am honest. If you,
Get into that here, please, please.
if you would like I said, I can show you where the mortgage company has tried to contact Mr. Zarowski. And they reached out to me because they couldn't contact him. I have demand letters where they're asking for stuff. I've tried, I've offered to go out and help them clean the house out. They don't want us in the home.
I'm sorry.
And I believe as of April 11th, that $7,000 number I quote will increase by $1,160 tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We also incur interest when you don't pay for a mortgage. We incur interest that is collecting if we save the house. There wasn't insurance. The insurance was dropped at one point and then actually picked up by the mortgage company. The taxes on the home have not been paid by Mr. Zarowski since my grandmother passed away. The mortgage company actually had to go back and pick up. I get, when you have a mortgage, there's certain rules and requirements, one of which is your taxes, the second of which is insurance being paid. So they have now picked that up and added it to our mortgage. And I guess that's all. I just don't feel like he has a way to properly, it's nothing personal against him. I just don't think he has a way to properly take care of everything. It's nice that he mows the grass, but is having the grass mowed worth $1,200 a month. Right.
Anything else?
And no, like I said, if you would like to see the, but that's all. You're welcome.
Got a couple minutes, okay? I'm ready to wrap this up. You have to do it.
Mhm.
I'm ready to wrap this up. I'm looking at that.
Hi. My name is Elizabeth Salcheski. I'm Carol Keaveney's fourth child. And I also live in Connecticut, and it does take a lot of money to come here. And one time I was told to come up here and that we were gonna go clean out the house. And I had to rent a vehicle because I don't have the best of vehicles. I came all the way down here. I took time off of my job. I took a Friday and a Monday off of my job, and I was refused entrance into the home, which is my mother's home. I also stayed at my mom's house the last 6 months. I took care of my mother until she died.
Okay, what's your reason for?
What's my
You want to
reason?
be Removed, or are you speaking in favor?
Well,
of-
you know, I want the right
That's what
job.
we're here today to decide.
Okay, well, I don't think it's worth $1,200 a month to get the grass mowed. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, me and Amanda has paid the mortgage a lot. That wasn't mentioned, you know, and I don't think anybody should be reimbursed for paying John Zarowski's bills. If they want to pay John Zarowski's bills,
Okay, why should we remove it? That's what I want to hear from you.
why should you remove him? Someone's got to be there that does the right job, okay? And I'm not saying, I mean, really, my sister Cindy has to intervene for him all the time. She's his backbone, and I don't think he would be doing this if she didn't push him into doing it. I think somebody that has a little bit more background in courtrooms other than criminal court should be up here, not someone that's like threatening us.
Here we go again, we're getting off.
All right, but yeah, we can't, you know, it's
We
just
gotta
crazy.
stay on
All right, he
the-
shouldn't be executor because we need to be allowed in my mom's house, which I took care of my mother
Here we go again.
and I haven't been allowed in. So someone can't be there that can't take care of the property. Am I
We
correct?
understand where you're-
You know, really, he never took, he didn't take care of my mom. He didn't take care of the
Okay,
property.
we
He
get
didn't
it, we
contribute
get
to
it.
nothing, and now he's gonna live free for the rest of his life. Wow. I don't think anybody should be.
I'm John Zarowski. I've been taking care of my mom since 2013. I have lived in the house, okay? I did the grocery shopping. I did everything,
Okay, here we go again. Why
Okay.
should he be removed?
okay? I should not be removed because I take care of the property. I have, okay, got nothing from Amanda Maddox. She has made one payment, okay, well, actually 3 on the house, right? But guess what? Elizabeth Salcheski actually made the pay, gave her the money so she could make the payment. All right, I applied for the West Virginia Mortgage Rescue Program. They kicked in, I have approved, it's been approved. The rare mortgage of $9,000 or something like that is about to be paid any day if I'm in the home. If I'm removed out of the home, the program goes by, and so does the house. Mr. Varner, yes, I cussed him out because I believe that he was working for Amanda, okay? Now, Mr. Garner, the one dude, he was removed. He was appointed the fiduciary person, like Varner's doing, and he was removed before I ever talked to him. All right, and then Mr. Varner's that was in place.
Okay, I've talked to him. All he does is call and tell me about what Amanda Maddox wants, right? She can't have everything she wants. I have let them in the house. Everybody came at one time on Labor Day weekend last year and got what they wanted out of the house. Or
Are you going to be able to do?
I have been doing my duties.
Are you done?
No, I'm not done, but you can speak. She wants to talk to you. Okay, Mr. Varner, okay, I have stated to June, okay, one weekend this summer or sometime, that I thought him and Amanda had known each other, okay? I find out that he lives on Hall's Run, I think, or somewhere close to me, and Amanda Maddox and his kids went to school together. Okay, that puts him in a conflict of interest. So I'd like you to have him removed. I do got a sale. I got actually 2 people that are interested in the house and probably buying it soon. And I should stay there because if I leave there, then nobody can live in the house and the house is gonna get destroyed by people breaking into it. And I have other heirs that also agree with me on that. And other people have agreed on that too. So
They haven't paid, they haven't helped.
Okay.
I have helped, I have helped pay. I paid $1,000. Amanda Maddox actually only paid zip because her money came from somebody else. My money came from me. And I actually had my sister make the payment because I don't have a bank account. But I did go out and get a money order and send her the money so that she can make the payment the same time as Amanda made hers. But they're not telling you that. You know, I don't care. You could take me and put me out. Cool. I'll leave happily. The house is then, you know, that $10,000, $9,000 or whatever, goodbye. Hope you could pay it. That's all I got to say, because they're not gonna.
Well, all of this, I think, gives you the real flavor of what's going on. This has been a problem getting communication from the beginning. I give them by email if asked. I give them my home office phone number, which is 24/7 answering. And I have gotten calls on this, but they have mostly been vitriolic and anger filled and really not productive in any meaningful sense. But I'm also keenly aware of the homelessness problem we have, and I don't want to see Mr. Zarowski become part of that. But it's clearly time for an outbreak of common sense here. And as you all know, I think, and I know Trey knows, there's no requirement by law that any heir put money in to keep an estate afloat. They do that as a matter of grace. But as they've been told, it has to be documented. And that's the reason for having a checking account in the name of the estate. So you can account for money coming in and money going out. Now, as long as this has been going on, I have received information that, you know, wouldn't fill a small handful. But as this hearing approached, I started getting information from hither and yon, and some of it may be completely bogus. And I don't want to take the time, effort, and expense of the estate to find out if there's a more rational way to deal with this. But I hear rumors that utility accounts are being opened in the name of the decedent, and that shouldn't be. And I haven't had an opportunity to look into that yet. I've also heard rumors to the effect that strangers to the family tree are getting on the utilities under the decedent Ms. Keaveney's name. So it's certainly far, far, far from a perfect situation. But I mean, I am willing to defer my request for removal to see if 90 days or so could sort this out. But and most of the errors are here, not all of them necessarily, but I will insist on accurate and timely communication. And it would have to be a condition that he get a bond reinstated within a very short period of time, that he open an estate checking account. And if he has trouble with that, there's banks in Salem that I'm sure would be able to do that. He has to have a certain amount of money to start it. And this estate, as I understand it, is essentially devoid of cash except for what comes in from the sale of the property. To the extent that there's personal property that was owned by the decedent, I suspect the value of that is very minimal. And I don't envy your jobs because these things come overly burdened with emotion, as you can see. But I will leave it up to you to craft something that hopefully allows this to move forward. If it's the immediate replacement of Mr. Zarowski, I need a lineup for Mr. Zarowski, then I do think the sheriff may be the best alternative here. And I've worked with the sheriffs down through the last 40 years on these, and they come in and move things forward. But this one's going to get snagged by the necessity to get permission to sell infant land. So that's my thoughts on it, and I'll trust in your judgment. You could probably get everything done except the permission of the court to sell the minor's land. But that's also resolvable because if the folks want the land and they're going to buy it, they simply escrow the funds, or at least the funds that would go to the infants, and move forward. Now, who can answer me this amongst the heirs here? The people that have given you the written offer, they're Bowens, right? Are they related to the other Bowens that live up Coburn Fork there? Or does anybody know?
They're from out of state.
The ones with the.
So are you all from Connecticut? I mean, that doesn't mean that they're not
Right.
part of the.
I don't know.
Okay.
They got a son that lives in Virginia that they want to buy the house for, and they're supposed to come look at it this coming week.
Okay. If they leave you in, you need to do a better job of communicating with me
Yeah.
in a, shall we say, polite fashion,
Yeah.
and we'll get along fine. The concern that was kind of wafting below the waves there was that I somehow had a conflict because my kids, one or both of them, may have gone to high school with Amanda. I've asked them both. They have no idea who I'm talking about. So now her current surname may not be the same as. Good deal. I'm done. As Judge Janine says, I'm done talking now. I think that's best. Thank you. If that passes.
We got a month to get a checking account.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you, Mr.
Do we have to continue paying for him to live there?
That's your choice, man. Strictly your choice.
Let's not take up their time strictly from an FC perspective. I'll tell you what I think, but I can't give you legal advice because I have to administer, okay?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is clear the room, we'll go from there. If that works.
She went to Notre Dame. Your kids went to Notre Dame. She went to Notre Dame schools. She didn't go to school. She didn't go to school.
Are we going? Are we going to?
I don't know. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, just go on.
This is my first time.
Where you going, young lady? Where you going?
I did.
See you. Yeah, I didn't wanna speak.
I know.
But,
I understand.
Hello?
See, sir. Steve, yeah. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate it. This guy right here. Oh, I know you. Both.
Hey, Patsy, how you doing?
Oh, thank you.
Okay. I'm going to do the child abuse prevention.
Hello?
Whereas child abuse is a complex and ongoing problem in our society, affecting great numbers of children and their families. Whereas every child is entitled to be loved, cared for, nurtured, secure, and free from sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional and verbal abuse, and neglect. And whereas child abuse prevention is a community responsibility, finding solutions depends on involvement among all people. And whereas Harrison County has dedicated individuals and organizations who work daily to prevent the problem of child abuse and neglect, and to help parents obtain the support they need to raise their children in a safe, nurturing environment. And whereas effective child abuse, sorry, this is really. Sorry, I thought. Effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships among community members, agencies, schools, religious organizations, volunteer agencies, and the business community. And whereas local communities are requested to join in demonstrating their commitment to protecting children and to send a clear message that the criminal and sexual victimization of our children will not be tolerated. Now, therefore, be it resolved, Harrison County Commission does hereby proclaim the month of April 2024 as Child Abuse Prevention Month, and calls upon all citizens to increase their participation in efforts to prevent child abuse and strengthen the community in which we live by supporting the established framework for a comprehensive strategy address all forms of child abuse and neglect. Passed by the County Commission of Harrison County, Massachusetts, this 10th day of April 2024, and is signed by all community.
Thank you, guys. We want to partner with Cody because they are part of our TVS, which are obviously center for these problems. And every year we give our back. This year we are looking back. Has been a support for all agencies and the county that works with children out there every day. Find advice for my. All of our. They're helping us find grades, find things. Not say they.
Brother, really?
I can't tell you how honored I am. Really, I wouldn't move around out of our team. Marissa Russell here, our program director for the Resilience Collaborative. Without her assistance over the years, we wouldn't have been able to do what we're doing now. So really, it takes us all. So God bless you and the work that you do for our children. I know know it's some of the most difficult work out there. It is the most difficult work out there, so, we're gonna do as much as we can for you. We're gonna continue to fight it. So thank you very much. Thank you, commission.
Thank you, thank everybody.
Yes, everyone, this community, law enforcement.
Whereas sexual assault is a crime that affects every person of this community. And whereas 1 in 60 boys and 1 in 4 girls would experience sexual assault before the age of 18. Also, on college campus, 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men are sexually assaulted. And whereas preventing education about sexual assault and consent must be taken as a priority to commit sexual assault in our community. Whereas we ask the community to learn the laws of consent, reevaluate, I'm sorry, I'm not going to stumble through this. I'm not going to wait for you all, but I'm having issues seeing some of these words and
The bottom line is we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart.
we need to get it up for a leaf, it's a toner or something, put it in. You know, what they did was coffee. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, David, thanks.
Well, I'll try.
That's right.
Whereas sexual assault is a crime that affects this community. And whereas 1 in 60 24 girls experience sexual assault. Also, college campuses, 1 in 5 women. Sexual assault. Whereas prevention and education about sexual assault and consent is taken as a priority to combat sexual assault in our community. Whereas we ask the community to learn the law of consent, reevaluate where responsibility lie, create a culture where everyone openly, honestly talk about healthy relations, sensual sex, and challenge their thinking about this crime. Whereas West Virginia across the state are coming together to show their support for victims of sexual assault and harassment. We are happy to say we believe in you, but not only that, we aim to end sexual violence in our communities. Now therefore be it resolved that our county commission does hereby proclaim and recognize the month of April 2024 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month, passed by your county commission. This 10th day of April, signed Susan Thomas, David Nicholson, at Street Talk.
Thank you guys so much.
Nobody wants to do that.
All right. Yeah, we do.
Want to hold the spotlight from you.
We're gonna keep on trying the best we can. Do the most we can.
I love it.
Okay. We are on number 9, that's correct. Did you discuss consider paying for a social worker for 2 years now as a itself?
Hello, my name is Brad Riffey. I'm the director of our local United Way of Harrison and Doddridge counties. I would just like to say today that any support we can get to enhance the services that we've been performing for the last almost 4 years would be a huge win for Harrison County residents, citizens suffering specifically from the opioid epidemic, and local law enforcement. Staff has already built a great rapport with local officers and departments, and for them to have a resource to lean on to get folks to the right place connected to recovery and the support services they need, again, would be a huge win for Harrison County residents. We have a program that works, and we have staff that is just 24/7 tirelessly working out there in our communities, and we need to meet people where they're at, and our staff does that, and they have been doing that. Marissa Russell here, our program director, has built this program over the years and has done a fantastic job with our staff putting this program to work. We have some amazing stats to share, and really if we are able to get support, more support, we're going to be able to affect more positive change in our community, and can't really wait to attach a value to that work, be able to show up and say, this is what we've been able to accomplish together as a community. So I just want to say thank you to the County Commission for really always being there for us in this community, and for organizations like the Child Advocacy Center. They're definitely a part of all this too. So with that being said, if we're able to form a partnership and get more support, we're going to put these dollars to work and do the best we can to serve the folks who are suffering from this opioid epidemic. $150,000 for 2 years would be a good figure. And then also, I just want you to know that this isn't just like a shot in the arm and then we're 2 years we're done. We're really going to go after some state and federal funding that will hopefully sustain positions moving forward, so this work can continue in our community, and that we do want to build in that long-term strategy as well. But we've had two employees doing this for 4 years now, and it would be a huge, tremendous blessing to have more support. For 2 years total, sir. Yes. I have not had a formal presentation, but we've had discussions. I cannot speak for those committee members, but I would like to think that they are supportive of United Way as an organization and the work that we've done in this community. Yes, sir. Yeah. Maybe I could give Marissa Russell, our program director, the opportunity to just share a little information with you. Marissa has done a tremendous job over the past four years building this program. And really without her expertise and guidance and leadership, we wouldn't have any of this available right now to our community. And I do want to say that we are the only program that's doing this work right now. So to be able to enhance that and bolster it would be a tremendous service to the people that we need to serve. So thank you.
We do. We work closely with corrections. We work closely with law enforcement, with the hospital, with the Board of Education. So we have really made it our business to resolve some of the most vulnerable cases of homelessness here in Harrison County. Families with children, elderly folks, people living with serious mental illness, people in the thick of substance use disorder. I think what has made our program really effective is that we have pursued really highly integrated, customized support services with an emphasis on housing, healthcare, and community building. And ultimately those things in combination lead back to, meaningful work, meaningful activities here in our community. The goal of our program is always to make recovery the path of least resistance. So when a person is ready to go to treatment, that we should rock and roll right that minute. So
Sure, this would be earmarked specifically for the Resilience Collaborative program.
The Resilience Collaborative is a direct service of United Way. So we are housed within the United Way, but we are a direct service program. Right. The money that we're asking would not be distributed through the United Way campaign.
No, even if you were to write a check to the United Way, we could provide documentation. Anything that's earmarked, we honor that. Actually last year we raised $52,000 for other communities outside of Harrison and Doddridge counties. And we don't take admin fees out of those donations. So if you were to say specifically, this is what it's to be used for, it would be used for that. It would not go into our general budget. That budget's already been passed and these dollars operate outside of that. Specifically, yes, sir.
We'll give them and then they come back and as long as the program says the other 100 shares.
We would really appreciate that opportunity and thank you, sir. I think sharing the results is something that we need to do in this community. Yeah.
You're walking 200,000. Okay, next year, please come to us and show us some.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. We'd be glad to do that. And we have statistics now. In the last year and a half, we've housed 75 people, the majority of them straight off of the street in Harrison County with only one return to homelessness. In the last 4 months, we've put 11 people in inpatient treatment. Now we're doing the follow-up care of making sure that after they've completed, we have a guy who has 50 days clean. He's coming home tomorrow to an apartment and with really, integrated follow-up care. So.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thank you all so very
Thank
much.
you all very much. Yeah.
And that's what I'm,
Okay, motion is to
give them 100,000.
when we say them.
I don't know
The collaborative,
The Resilience Collaborative of United Way of Harrison and Doddridge County. Yep. Resco. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. God bless you all. This is a huge win for our community right now. So thank you very much for investing these dollars in such a tremendous program. I can't say enough wonderful things about our staff and really our volunteers too. I don't want to leave them out. Everybody who's down there every single week working with folks who need our love and care. And it's about long-term sustainability, right? It's about long-term strategies. And I really think that this United Way is, and with the help of our staff and leaders like Marissa, we're doing things that no other United Way is doing in the state of West Virginia. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Number 10, review, discuss, consider resolution.
We applied for the records management, and this is the first time that I've applied for 2 different county offices, elected officials. So we're getting 10,000 for the circuit clerk's office for scanning documents. We're getting 15,000 for the county clerk's office to put up shelving records.
Number 11, review, discuss, consider a resolution authorizing the filing of the application to.
This is the application that I applied for to help assist in paying for bringing down the dilapidated structures.
Motion to approve. Authorizing the filing of the application. Let's see. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
The next 3 items are all travel for Gina and 1 for Peggy. And Gina and Peggy are asking to attend one of the same workshops. So.
Okay, motion's been made to approve travel for 12, 13, and 14. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 15, review, discuss, consider GSA update, potential executive session pursuant to 698-4B9 to consider matters involving or affecting the purchase, sale, or lease of property, advanced construction planning, the investment of public funds, or other matters involving commercial competition which may affect the adversely affect the financial or other interest of the county. Do we have it this time?
Not that I'm aware.
I would just like to point out the email that just went out on our roof. That
Must have been something I was hearing.
that we were gonna have to make some real hard decisions here real quick. I think that we're what I saw from up on the roof where the patches were coming up. Water standing and the other items that are coming apart, I think that we're gonna have to move a little faster, Trey, on our issues with the contractor. Because it's not getting any better.
Number 16, we have nothing, is that correct? Review, discuss, consider invoice for reimbursement of funds to North Central West Virginia action for work performed under the CDBG grant.
A couple of meetings ago, you approved the payable to Community Action for the work they did under the CDBG grant. And this is our invoice to the state asking for reimbursement.
Motion approved. Motion to approve invoice. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 18, review, discuss, consider Equitrans survey permission.
I believe Trey has that information.
I do. Yeah, Equitrans has been contracted by GE to do some work at the potential power plants, the natural gas powered power plants just outside of Northview. They want to get started with permitting. They proposed a survey document. We had some changes primarily related to risk transfer to anybody who's going to be out there, and some insurance requirements as well. It's a very minimal use and minimal intrusion on the property. This is really for the siting and the siting plan. Now, I did review both options, and by both options, I mean kind of our double layer here from the HCC to the HCDA into Wolf Summit or its successor, and those have not been exercised. So I do believe the county is the appropriate entity to sign this document at this point in time. It's entirely consistent with the project. I would also suggest that you try to get GE in here soon to give you an update and to get a more comprehensive understanding of the site plan out there in terms of what's coming down the pipeline. But I would suggest you execute the agreement and they can get started.
Will they request?
Great, great.
Yeah, well, I think the big issue and Trey knows how I feel is that they want to go in and lay out a right of way, but it's kind of a crazy looking right of way. And I just want to make sure we don't, that we're part of that process. If not, we're gonna have a really weird land left over by the time they get through cutting through with the pipeline and the power lines. And we already have, I've noticed a potential power line, and there's 2 other gas wells that are on the property. So I think we need to evaluate right of ways going through the property just to see where they don't make sure that we don't end up with something that's not sellable afterwards, because they're not looking to take much property.
Yeah, and I agree. And under clause 14 of the options, there's a site plan, kind of a good faith duty to talk with them and the development authority about that. So in the phone call, that should be raised, and let's get a better understanding of what they want and why they want it and what it's going to leave for the county.
Motion to approve survey permission.
Motion to approve Equitrans survey permission form. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 19, review, discuss, consider approving front step repairs. Should approve. A motion's been made to approve the front step repairs. Okay. What's the front, I mean, do we want to do this? Right.
So right now, the stairs, we have a 1-year warranty from substantial completion with the builder, with Rycon. We've made a demand. They come in and fix the front steps. Rycon has asked for some additional information. I would suggest that we continue to demand that Rycon come in and fix the front steps under their warranty obligation, because we're still within the 1-year period after May of 23, which was substantial completion.
So is this what we're doing by voting? This is actually right on the come back, or is this us?
It sounds like this is us going out of
This
pocket.
is us going out of pocket.
We're not taking ownership of any of their problems.
No, this is us.
Would not recommend you do that.
You don't want to approve?
I don't want approval because it It's under warranty, and if there's an issue, Rycon needs to honor their warranty. We paid them money for that commitment.
No,
Yeah, rescind my motion.
yeah, I think this is coming from our maintenance staff.
We received the email though from Tom Hackey with the information from Carl Taylor. That's who is going to do the repair work. And there should be in the packet,
I see the packet,
right?
but
But that came from Rycon to us. Or
oh,
it came back on.
Patsy, go ahead. Oh, I say we go ahead and approve it if Rycon's doing it. If they're not,
Yeah, I thought they were. Why?
If they're gonna
This is-
do it, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah, they are.
that's not attached. And so I guess the question for us is, do we consider the repair acceptable?
Okay,
So, no, but they want to know if they do this, will we accept where they're wanting to? Well, there's a picture, Susan, where they want to cut the steps
It was installed, they just like made this.
and
They have become our bank.
no,
No.
they've been notified.
we've made the warranty claim.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're safe there. I guess we gotta decide if we want a different look on the front steps. I say table it till the next meeting, and I think we need to look and make the decision. Whether it's gonna be what we really want on.
And can we have someone for maintenance?
Yeah.
Speak to it.
Yes, ma'am.
Table number 19. I thought it was next agenda, then agenda and have maintenance.
Yes, ma'am.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye. Any opposed? Number 20, review, discuss, consider appraising property at 4479 Meadowbrook Road.
That's a piece of property that the county owns that could potentially be sold. And just want to know if we should go out and appraise it.
Yeah. And I don't know where it is, but
Yes, sure it is.
okay.
It's in the old coal settlement.
They're coming from Bridgeport.
Okay, motion's been made to move the getting the price. Get it.
Yeah, he actually said for auction too. I don't know if that's.
Yeah.
Okay.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Any opposed? None motion carried.
Just that piece of property, I can't picture, Patsy, how big is it?
It's a couple lots, isn't it? It's a couple lots, a couple of lots.
I think it's part of the coal settlement that sits at the end of Meadowbrook Road.
Right, yeah, and it's on the.
It's not in the floodplain.
Same property owner, on the two sides. We tore down a house in between somebody's property.
Okay, and the only thing that's going through my mind is whether or not we have Parks and Rec look at put some. It's not that big, then that was not.
Which would be a put up. Full trailer.
Okay.
Okay. Now, number 20.
21 for me is we passed a budget for $50,000. Staff came back with costs for vehicles. And it came in under what we budgeted, so I'm not sure if we have to pass it. Other than we gave staff a dollar amount.
Yes.
Oh, I just. It's kind of a catch. We normally budget money and then they just do it. I'm just asking. Because we budgeted to spend, they got a price on 2 vehicles.
Administrator to pay for the purchase of the vehicle. And whatever that purchase was, then the rest of my stays in the other.
There's 2 vehicles.
There's
I
2
think.
vehicles to choose one. One's a 2-wheel drive, one's a 4-wheel drive.
Are you able to compare the dealership?
No, there is no. there
One's
is
from Harry Green. Is it one from Harry
not-
Green?
Not in stock.
Not in stock.
Right. The one quote is from Harry Green, but it does, David said it's not in stock.
Not in stock.
Will be in May.
So right a month,
It'll be made in May.
so how much was that fee?
One from Harry Green is 36. Yeah. 36,114.49 plus taxes and fees.
And does it have leather or is vinyl or is it cloth?
Oh, you would ask me that. Let's see. Cloth.
But they can make it, they can. Add what?
Yes.
Michelle. What section code you can be at 14,000, but towards a few weeks, something, and they have another idea that they want to go to one committee and we'll evaluate that.
So the motion's been made to purchase the vehicle from Harry Green, so I'm not hearing that, but I would like to also, my only thing is, I think it does need to have leather seats. I think we need to get a price. on it.
About $2,000.
Motion, I mean, for $36,000 on up to $40,000 to compensate for leather seat.
Yep.
And for 41, you can have one tomorrow.
I'm sorry, it's not what.
I mean,
So the motion is to proceed with the one vehicle from up to $40,000 to the vinyl, leather, whatever it is. Any further discussion?
I hope we in the future push this local on our cruisers as hard as we do on these cars. No, we buy all our cruisers in the state of Ohio. Just saying, we don't buy them in West Virginia.
Signify by saying aye. None opposed.
No.
Motion carries. Number 22, review, discuss, consider potential resolution of leave accrual issue lawless potential executive session pursuant to West Virginia Code 69A to discuss matters arising from the appointment, employment, retirement, promotion, transfer, demotion, discipline, resignation, discharge, dismissal, or compensation of a public officer or an employee. What's the question?
I have not been involved in the discussion. Just as much as we've used in the past, so you all can make that decision, but I have not been privy to any of the decisions you're about to make.
Well, the hope was to discuss it today. I'd like to talk briefly, very briefly, in executive session about it. And hopefully Commissioner Hinkle will attend since he's in the room. but, 6-9A, 4B, 2A.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion to table 22 until next week. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Okay. Number 23, discuss and consider farmland.
Figure out what we're planning. $1.5 spending money and getting stuff done. And I just, I need to follow everything to do. Stuff to do.
I can do a memo. I don't have the information. So all that's available that's been filed in the clerk's office is the order creating the farmland protection board. There, I haven't seen any bylaws. I haven't seen any rules which they've made. They have the ability to make rules under 8A12, which is their creation statute. So I need to get those documents, but I can do a memo like I did with Parks and Rec before, if that's what you all would like.
Uh,
Take care.